Hi guys, I just thought I'd just do this video. As you can tell by the title, I had a miscarriage and I had the surgery to remove it. So let's start from the beginning. So I've got my notes up on my laptop. So if you see me looking over there on the that direction, not towards you, then you know I'm just looking at my notes to make sure I've said what's happened in each time. So on 6th of Feb, I was suffering from really bad pain at the lower of my stomach. So I booked in for emergency doctor's appointment at my doctor's to see what was going on, and they wanted me to go and get emergency scan done because they thought it could be ectopic pregnancy. So she rang up the pregnancy unit at my local hospital and they said that they couldn't do it on the same day, it had to be the next day. So we booked it in for the 7th of February for early pregnancy scan, and we found out it was not ectopic pregnancy, so me and Simon were both over the moon about that. But we saw the baby and it was 1.4 millimetres and I was measuring 4 weeks and 5 days. And she said it was very small and there was a potential heartbeat, so we were both so excited about that. They said they wanted to test us again in 2 weeks later. I'm just getting my calendar up to make sure. Yeah, 2 weeks later they tested. They wanted to do another scan, just to see what was going on. So that was on the 28th of February. But the lady that did the scan was a different ultrasound lady, and she couldn't find it. I got told I was what they call it, a horny heart-shaped womb. So it was a heart-shaped womb with the horns, and I had to have even on the first scan I had the normal ultrasound and an internal just to say. This time the lady at this scan just said that they were just doing an internal, but because they didn't lift my bum high enough, they couldn't see the baby because it was up further in the horny heart bit. So yeah, then they said that it could be a failing pregnancy, that we couldn't find it, and have you had any bleeding? So I said no bleeding whatsoever. So it roughly went downhill from there. Then on the 14th of March, so 2 weeks later or whatever it was, anyway, so on the 14th of March they did one on the stomach and an internal, but they used a cushion this time to lift my bum up a bit higher so they could see. They found the baby but no heartbeat, and the baby was measuring 3 millimetres, so it hadn't even grown so much since 7th of Feb. Then that day we booked in for surgery. I think she wanted me to have the surgery that week, but because Simon couldn't get the time off because he wanted to come with me, we booked it in for the following week. So the 21st of March we went in for a scan at 9:50. They asked us if we wanted to have a look on the screen for what that she could see, but we both didn't want to because we both knew it was I had a miscarriage, and it then going up to 3.5 millimetres, and it was just partly just fading. So that day we had to go for a scan and some blood tests and surgery. So I wasn't allowed to eat anything after 8 o'clock. And I wasn't allowed to drink water until 11 o'clock. Sorry, guys. So I had to go for blood tests done. They were having problems finding my vein in my arm. They tried, this one lady, she tried everything to get it. The bruises they've gone now. But I was in a room where they had 2 blood test people doing it. So when her client had gone out, she asked the other one to help. I think she was a bit more qualified for things like this. So then she was trying to get everywhere. She said, "Oh, I think we found one here." So she had to roughly stab it in my arm to get the vein, and it bruised. They just wanted to check to see what blood type I was and just check all my levels, really. So that was done around about 11 o'clock. Then we waited a bit because I had a bed booked from 12 o'clock because we booked that on the 14th. So yeah, I went down to the daycare unit where I had to go to wait for the surgery. Got to the bed and we were waiting till just after 4 o'clock. I think it was nearly towards 5 o'clock when it was my turn to go to theatre. So they bought me this nightie and these socks for things, and they taped up my ring because I didn't take that off. I did ask them if they wanted me to take it off. They went, "No, don't worry about it." They just taped it up. So I walked down. They were going to send me a bed, but they decided I could walk down. But they didn't tell the people in the theatre near the anaesthetic room to not to bother bringing the bed, because we got to the anaesthetic room and they were bringing the bed. So I put my dressing gown and my slippers on and was walking down to the anaesthetic room. Got in there. I had to take my dressing gown off, laid on the bed, so they took my slippers off. And they were putting patches on me to monitor my heart while I was asleep, and check my blood pressure and my pulse. And one of the nurses, or whatever it was, I think it was, said to me, "Do you always get blotchy when you're nervous?" And I went, "Yes." I said, "This is the first time." I said, "It's the first time I've having to do anything like this, being in surgery or anything." She said, "Don't worry, we'll take good care of you. The theatre doctor is really good." So they were trying to get the needle in my hand. I still got the mark where it was, and now at the moment I still get pain over here. But they were having difficulty getting it in there. One of the nurses, she was going like this, trying to get all, I presume, the blood to get rushed down there so they could see the vein. But they roughly had to jab that in as well because it wasn't playing. They managed to get it in. I was talking to the other nurse that had put the patches on me, and because I had to look like that because I don't like seeing needles going in. And we were talking about Robin. She was asking me how old he was and all this lot. Turned around and looked towards where they had the needle in. Saw the anaesthetic going in. Just saw the first bit, and then that was it. I can't remember anything else. He just said to me that it might feel tingling up your arm, but I never felt that. Sorry, guys. And the next thing I knew, I heard the nurse saying, "Maddie, come on, wake up, Maddie, wake up. Come on, Maddie, wake up." And I must have been keep going in and out of falling asleep, waking up. And the next thing I know, we was walking down to another ward, not the same ward I was on. I saw Simon there. My stuff was at the bottom of the bed. And sorry. got placed on the ward, and they said I had to stay in because I lost a bit more blood than they wanted. They normally expect. They do expect so blood, because you know it do. But I lost a bit more than what they wanted. So I had to stay in overnight, and I kept saying to Sam, I said, I just want to go home, because I got told it was just going to be roughly in and out. I'll wait till you get the anaesthetic out of your system. So I was on this ward with 5 other ladies, because it was just a single bay, and they were just full of elderly people. They were just full of elderly. I was the only younger one on that ward. So I had to stay up on the ward. I needed the toilet about 7 o'clock it was, and they wouldn't let me go, so I had to try and wean this bucket, like a bowl type thing, but it's like not cardboard. The bowl's what they let you wee in, that you can use in commodes as well. Anyway, I couldn't do it because my body system was just saying to me, no, you should be going to the toilet to do this. But they wouldn't let me out of bed because I only just came down from the ward, from the surgery. They said, well, if you're still struggling a bit later, then we'll let you can use the commode or go to the toilet. So about 9 o'clock, I was really desperate for the toilet. And they said, have you been out of bed? I said, no, but I said I kept moving my feet. So I can move. I was wobbly on my feet, but managed to go to the toilet because I didn't want to use the commode. I didn't want other people telling me to having a wee. So yeah. And I found out that after I've had surgery, they put a pad down there but didn't no pants. But instead of putting the pad like that way, they put it like that. So I had to soak to the bed. So they had to change my bed in. And then they gave me some of these like pants with the padding built in, ones that you can get. So yeah, I had one of them, managed to go to the toilet. And at this point I still had my drip in from to get my anaesthetic out of my mouth. But before all that, I could just remember Simon saying, come on, drink some water. And I had an oxygen thing on my face because I had to keep that on for 2 hours. I could just remember him just saying, come on, drink some water. They came to check do my observations on my blood pressure, my pulse, and my temperature. And they just asked me if I had any pain. I went, no, only when I cough, because it hurt when I cough. She said, that's absolutely fine, I'm not concerned about that. So I kept drinking water, and so they had no problems. I was in no pain. I was expecting loads of pain, but no, I was in no pain. So I could go home the next day. But at 11 o'clock, I managed to turn the lights off about 10 o'clock, and I managed to fall asleep. And then at 11 o'clock, I got woken up by one of the nurses to come to take my bloods again. Because she said it's been 6 hours since taking your last bloods. So they managed to get it in, no problem. Because at this point, I'd had a cheese sandwich and some water. So it was easy to get my veins. And I said to the nurse, I said, I'm due to have blood tests in the morning. Will I still have to have them done? She went, it all depends on the results come back from this one. If it's absolutely normal, because the checking my iron to make sure I wasn't anemic because of all the loss of the blood. She said that takes about an hour, but I won't find out until the morning when the doctors come round. So I managed to go back to sleep. Then at 3 o'clock rolled round, and the night staff had come to do my observations again. And from then I was on and off sleep, couldn't get comfy because they kept coming round the ward, because one of the ladies kept pressing the button that she needed the toilet, and she was using the commode. So on and off since then. And I think I managed to go to sleep about 5 o'clock till about 6, 7. My mum rang me up with Robbie just so I could speak to Robbie and Robbie could speak to me. Because my mum had him while I was in hospital. So yeah, the doctors came round about 9:15 and said that everything had gone alright. Was I in pain? Had I taken any tablets? Well, the night staff was still on at the time. No, the day staff was on. They did a swap over. They checked my notes. No tablets were taken because I was in no pain. They asked if I was in no pain. I went no. I said since having surgery, I said I've been in no pain. So you did a really good job. And they said, right, you could be able to go home then. And they asked me about my blood test, and that came back. My iron was 131, which is normal because they didn't have to do it again. And they said I could go home. Which before this point, the doctor had come. This woman that kept ringing the bell during the night had the sickness and diarrhoea, so they had to close our bay. I was speaking to one of the people opposite me, and they said, well, it could be a chance, you might lose your chance of going home because of this. So when the nurse came in to let us know what was going on, I said I could possibly go home today. I said, would this affect me going home? She went, no, you better still go home. So I was glad about that. And when the doctor said I could go home, I was quite happy. So yeah, and when the nurse came around again, she said, well, you can go home now and we'll just send you, when they took my candle out of my hand, she says, well, you can either go home now and we'll post your discharge papers, or you can wait for your discharge papers, but it won't be until after wartime, which is about after 11:30. So I said, would you be able to post them out? And she went, yeah, that's absolutely fine. So the posting them out, I don't know if it's come to me or to the doctors. I spoke to my mum and she said the doctors will get that, and if there's any problems they'll write to me to let me know to come and see them. But I've had no problems, no pains. The only time I roughly get some pains is when I've held Robbie for too long. But Wednesday and Thursday I didn't really hold him until Thursday night. I picked him up from nursery, and he didn't really want to come home, so I went to go and pick him up. Mum was like keeping an eye on me to make sure I had no pains, because I could be in a lot of pain if need to, but no. I just had some spitting of blood. But that stopped by Friday night, Saturday morning. The pain had gone. So yeah, I had the best really good surgery done. I'd recommend it if anybody had to go through this. It has been now over, it's been a week today that I had it. And no, a week yesterday I had it. So yeah, I've not updated you all because I just wanted to get it over. When it just kept going through my head, and whenever I used to see people was pregnant, or people I knew that was pregnant or had just had babies, it made me think what I've just lost. So yeah, I thought I'd just update you all now. It is not stopping us trying again. We're just waiting for a bit now. I don't know how long we're going to wait for until we're both ready to try again. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know how you're going to enjoy it because I've just gone through a miscarriage. But if you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.